Hey guys, I get a lot of questions about my technique of painting my copper paint up over onto the cabochon and then layering with my latex, how to remove the paint after it's done plating and I've removed the latex. So you're sometimes going to get some of these little copper balls growing on there because the copper paint is under there and so it's kind of conducting on top of the latex, but that will come away when we remove the latex. So I'm going to start pulling away at this one corner. Then I'm going to move to the other corner so I don't stretch my latex and lose my little copper balls, because you can set those aside and use them for texture and things. So you can see that most of the paint comes away with the latex itself. The gold streaks you see on there, that's actually part of the resin, so it's not the copper paint that you're seeing there. So I'm going to stretch this. You can stretch it and like pick off the little copper balls. You can separate them pretty easily from each other too to make them individual, and use them for texture later. But there also might be some areas of the copper balls that grew on the edge of the bezel but weren't necessarily on like attached to the bezel because it's kind of over on the latex. So make sure you pick at those little balls on the edges really well, to make sure that everything that is loose comes away so it doesn't come away later. So now I've got some hot soapy water. It's comfortably hot to the touch, basically. And I've got some dish soap in there. And I've got my little baby toothbrush. It's so cute. And I'm going to soak this for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how much paint you've got on there. So I've been soaking this about 15 minutes, and I'm going to use my toothbrush to start scrubbing away at the copper paint. You don't need acetone, you don't need rubbing alcohol. You can just use hot soapy water, and this is tap water. It's fine as long as the piece gets dried really well. It shouldn't discolor it. So you want to go around, and it should come off pretty easily. You just want to make sure you're going around the edge of the bezel especially well, because a lot of times you'll think, oh, it's all cleaned off, and then you go to take your photos and you go, whoopsie, there's little bits of copper paint all in those edges, and you can see them very clearly in photos. So we just want to make sure we're getting in there really well, and it shouldn't take too much effort or too much time. Just keep rinsing it and checking and really looking around those bezel edges to make sure you're not seeing any copper paint. And that's all there is to it. It's really not that much effort. And like I said, you can use tap water. You can use distilled water if you prefer, but tap water seems to be fine. After you're done with this, you're going to want to give it a really good rinse and a really good dry so that it's not going to sit there wet and discolor, and you don't want the soapy, film left on there. But you can see that it's looking pretty, yeah, it's all clean. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.